I guess as you review the Northwestern game, what are some of the things? I mean, guys talk about some of the little things that can be fixed. I mean, what are some of those little things that you think can be tightened up for?
Yeah, a little frustrating of a game. Didn't execute as cleanly as we'd like. But quite honestly, we say this a bunch, but when you go back and look at the film, we really are off just by inches on different plays here, different plays here. The next years we're off by inches, and those inches are adding up, and they're killing us right now. But man, if we can just find a way to get on, just not the same page, but just find a way to close that gap, to clean up our just execution in certain areas, we're going to be a lot better. And it's never as bad as you think, it's never as good as you think, but man, we can be so much better if we can just execute just a little tighter.
What were a couple of plays that stood out to you in terms of Saturday, in terms of just being off by?
Just the second play of the game. We had Nick Westbrook wide open on a route down the sideline, and the ball was thrown high, and Nick really should have went up with two hands and came down with the ball, but he didn't, and the ball got just tipped right off his fingertips, and it goes out of bounds. And so instead of having a first down on the plus side of the 50, now we're going 3 and out. And just plays like that, just all day long. It's like, man, just this little much. But that's what we have to do. That's part of our maturation process, and we're just not there right now, but we got to continue to fight to get there.
With some of Rich's throws, I mean, some were overthrown, some were underthrown. Was he maybe trying to correct too much when he was, underthrowing some of the balls?
In the passing game, there's always a lot of different reasons that you can be off. Sometimes it's the depth of the wide receiver. Sometimes it's just the timing and the speed that, the wide house can get knocked off versus press. Sometimes it's his footwork. Other times it's protection. There's so many things that have to come together for a passing game to be clicking on all cylinders. And for different reasons, we just weren't clicking on every play, on every pass on Saturday.
Was it part of the game plan to throw it like almost 60 times, or was that more because of the early hole you guys got in?
Yeah, I think that was just a little bit more of an adjustment. I don't know that we ever want to go in a game and say we're going to throw it 60 times.
Coach Wilson's talked about, I think, really on both sides of the ball, just sort of slow starts and breaking out of those. Offensively, can you diagnose some of what leads to that and therefore obviously how to fix it?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know that I can pick one reason other than, like I said, the second play of the game. We had a guy wide open, throws a little high, receiver should have went up and got it. So, again, instead of having that fast start that we're looking for there, we go 3 and out, and now everything's off by just a little bit. So I think as us as coaches, we just have to find ways to get us going earlier, whether it's play calling, whether it's just our energy, execution. But I don't know that it's one thing, but I certainly think it's something we got to get fixed.
Are you worried, I guess, at any point that guys just might be overthinking it?
No, not really. I do think guys want it badly. And sometimes when you want it so badly, you have a tendency to squeeze and press a little bit too much. We have a great group of kids. We just had a great Tuesday practice. I mean, these guys are 100% buying in. They're flying around the field. They love each other. I just think, whether we're trying too hard on game day or we want it so badly that we're just not clicking on all cylinders quite yet.
How important is Danny Friend's role in the offense, and what's his transition kind of been like to play so many more snaps this year than he has in the past?
Part of it is just depth. We're trying to bring along Ian Thomas and get his reps increased so we can increase just his confidence and playing at game speed. But Danny's played a lot of football for us. He's a critical role in our offense. Everything we do is mainly tight end based. So we like him. We think the world of him. We're trying to bring along Ian and some other guys as well, so we don't have to play Danny as much.
Is Ian kind of built in that Jordan Fuchs mold, kind of an athlete who, just throw the ball, make him go catch it?
He is. He is an athletic kid, but he's a little bigger and thicker. Like he's almost ideally what you like because he's big enough and strong enough to block in the run game. He's also athletic enough and fast enough to stretch the field vertically in the pass game. For him, I think, it's just time and experience and reps playing in games.
You have Dan Feeney back. How much does that influence your play calling out there?
Yeah, not a lot. I think it's great to have Dan back. He's a great leader. He's a great player. I think for Dan, it's like we're still trying to get him back into game mode as well. That was his first game back. He played maybe half the game, maybe a little bit more, but we're still trying to knock the rust off there. For us, we're going to do what we do, but having Dan out there is a big asset.
What do you see out of Maryland?
I see a defense that's going to challenge every single play. They're going to load up the box and stop the run. They're a one high safety defense. They're going to challenge every throw on the perimeter. Again, like a lot of good defenses in this league, there aren't a lot of things that are easy against these guys. I think they're athletic. I think they run really well. They're playing extremely hard with a lot of confidence. For us, it's going to be a great challenge.